Today we're gonna transplant some cedars, some pines, some trees that I don't know the name of, but the point is, right here, over here, this place here is where I'm gonna be putting a log cabin. Just a little 100 square footer. This is where my log cabin's gonna go, so I'm gonna be tearing up whatever's here. I don't wanna wait until they're this size. I'm gonna grab them while they're young, and I'm gonna transplant them up to that front meadow, and hopefully they'll take, and we'll be able to have saved them from here, so we've done no damage, and we'll be able to get back what was lost due to construction. Whatever is in my way, I'm not gonna trample it, man. I'm not gonna put my foot down and crush nature beneath the sole like so many armies of Rome or Genghis Khan and his troops on horseback. Or Napoleon, perhaps. Maybe he had a bunch of people walking. I don't know a lot about Napoleon.
Idiot.
I'm wearing bug spray. When the lodge was constructed, because of the big timbers, the trucks were absolutely massive, right? So they cleared the whole front of the bush down to the drive, and it never came back. I've let it all go to wild, and we're getting the odd little tree here and there, but nothing really. Maybe it's Sam Squanch.
Sam Squam Tricky, and there's one right outside my f***ing door.
It's hard to say. Glasses are fogging up, it's so frickin' hot. I don't want ticks. I'm so disgustingly coated in bug spray and sunscreen. Thanks a lot, nature. This forest in the last 7 or 8 years has transformed pretty dramatically. What just fell off of me? Probably some sort of a, I don't know, first of its kind, a species no one's ever seen before. This could be the end. If I see Jodie Foster walking through the woods, we're all dead. Because I've seen those movies, I know how it works. Stay away, Jodie Foster. Stay away, Jodie Foster. We don't need you out here, okay? Not interested in Armageddon today, Jodie Foster. I got some bear spray, because we're out in the woods today. And I don't trust Bosco. I got a bottle of water here. Maybe I'm gonna get thirsty. I got a little shovel, I got a big shovel. And I got some pails, or some containers, some pots. Spade down! Oh, and I got some gardening gloves, in case there's creepy crawlies in the ground. Can you dig it? Like, I don't even know. I'm out in the woods, I should be quiet and just calm and enjoying the atmosphere, but instead I'm screaming in the trees. Well, it's because I don't want to have to use my bear spray. Use your noggin. Huh? Is he scared of bears? No, those aren't cheap. From what I understand, I'm a little bit late in the season to do this. Best to do it when the trees are dormant. These brand new bright green tips, you can see them here, that's new leaf. That's growth. So these are not dormant, but it's, you know, extremely early June. We didn't have a spring this year. We went from winter to summer. Only reason I'm wearing long sleeves is because the last time I was out in and around this area, I came home with a couple of travelers. And I don't care for that. Yeah, these are pine. There are some cedar. And man, I am soaked in bug spray and I'm getting attacked by black flies, mosquitoes, and I had a horsefly come at me. So the trifecta, the holy triumvirate of nonsense. That's a fairly decent first haul. A while back I saw road crews, and they had put in a wider lane or something, and they had populated the edge of the woods with a ton of plants very close together, I guess just trying to get the natural vegetation back as quickly as possible. They graded, obviously, for whatever the road needed to be graded, but then they decided probably be best if we didn't make this look like clear cutting and strip mining. So I had kind of thought the same thing here, that I'd plop in, you know, what I've got in that garden cart is probably going to do 20 square feet. And this entire meadow is what I want to be trees. And I'm hoping that, I mean, obviously nature should propagate itself, yeah? But, wow. This is a lot more work than I thought. See, I thought this. I was like, hey man, you had a good idea. But then you didn't realize how much work was in that idea, brah. Like, holy smacks. But we'll do what we do. And it might take a few days, but if all goes well and most of them survive, then in a few short years, they'll be, you know, 10, 15 feet tall. And some of them might get Christmas lights. They'll all be so much happier here. And this forest that goes forever can come up here where the machines had cleared it all away. Probably shouldn't have set this point here to be high noon. You can see I'm only going in about 8 feet, and that's because we do have power lines running up the side of the drive. So if I go too far in, hydro is going to come down here one day and clear them out anyway. But these kind of junk maple, junk hickory, walnut, junk mesquite, junk sumac, I don't know, whatever it is, they're lousy down the drive. So I'll just pick up a bunch of those and plant them sort of the edge, because hydro does come by every 4 or 5 years and they just slice the whole thing down. It looks like hell. But these things pop up the following summer stronger and better if everything begins. And the other hope too is that, like, this isn't just about planting these pines, but it's also introducing other things, right? Maybe if pines are growing, I don't know, other plants might. I don't know. I'm not a horticulturalist. I'm not a tree fella. What do they call them? An arborist. I'm in Canada. We don't celebrate Arbor Day. We don't do it. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of these, and then I'm gonna call it an effing day while I'll water them. It's too hot. I would rather start part 2 first thing in the morning when it's chilly willy out. You know, look at these mad skills. Did you know that I'm a single digit juggler? It's a solo juggle, right? I only juggle the one. Anybody can do it with 3 or 4 or 5 things, but like, look at this. Look at this juggling action. Whoa! Spin and double action. Whoa! Right? You don't want to mess with this guy. This guy's got the skills to pay the bills. Hot out though. Morning, folks. We lost the better part of the week. Weekend came and went. It rained then too, and it seemed, you know, the only day it didn't rain, I was busy with some other things. So we're back here now. I brought along some cardboard trays. We'll see how they hold up. And I brought some bigger buckets. So my hope is that I can start pulling out a few more of these big guys. We're supposed to get rain this afternoon again, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The one nice thing about it all, though, is the temperature. Temperature is much more conducive to hard physical labor. Well, not hard physical labor, but sweaty labor covered in bug spray with those little sons of bitches still coming at you from every angle. I couldn't imagine what it would be like if I didn't have this bug spray on. But we're going to clear the rest of the trees in the general area of where we will eventually build our cabin. And then from there, we'll sort of take a look at the pathway. Because I don't want to pull up anything that I don't need to pull up, you know? I've got some cedar here. And I've been trying to figure out where the cedar starts. And if it's under this tree, I'm going to be out of luck for this particular one. Oh, it's coming out of the trunk. Huh. It's coming out of the trunk of this fallen cedar. Okay. Well, that one we'll leave alone then. That one we'll leave alone. I'm being a little selective in how I take the plants. Because I don't want to take what I don't need to take. I only want to take what I know for a fact I will destroy under construction. And I'm gonna build this little log cabin, channel my inner Dick Pernecki, and this will be this man's wilderness here. I know it's pretty stupid talking about building a log cabin. Maybe I want to get away from the other log cabin. Maybe I want to go to a smaller log cabin with way less amenities. Though, you know, hey, let's be honest. Couple of three things. A, it's a super fun project. We've got so many cedars in these woods. Cedar. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your server. We've got a lot of cedars, and I mentioned it earlier, but we've got a lot of cedars, and the forest, when we moved here, the forest was primarily cedar, birch, ash, some pine, and maple, but over the last 7 or 8 years, I've noticed that the cedars, you know, they're quite large, but they're making way for all these pines that are coming up. So the forest is starting to change itself. And some of the cedars are just old, some of the cedars are fine and dandy, and some of the cedars are growing so tight together, either proximity close or they're growing in clumps of 3, 4, 5. And they're basically starving each other for, you know, for sunlight and nutrients. So in those particular cases where there are clumps of 3 and 4, we'll sort of thin. We'll take the ones that are really scraggly, take them down. Now, instead of just having a mass amount of firewood, that's going to become a lot of the wood for some of the projects we're doing around here. The simplest of which, maybe not the simplest of which, but the one I'm looking forward to the most is a simple log cabin. Nothing massive. I'm thinking, you know, 10 by 10, maybe a loft. I think I'd like to do a loft. Just that would be neat. Maybe the loft goes over a porch, and that could be a screen porch. And like, this is just dead out in the middle. There's no real view other than the woods itself. It's not too far of a hike to the river. It's not too far of a hike back to the lodge, so it theoretically could be used as a spare bedroom, you know, if we have a big hootenanny out here. Sort of from here to there, generally where the snug's gonna be. We're calling it the snug. It's a log cabin. It's a tip of the cap to the snug in an Irish pub. There is a massive pine that has come down here, just dead wood. And another massive pine here that's come down. Couple of pines over there, looking sus. I gotta keep an eye on that birch. But other than that, this is kind of a little bit of a weird clearing, other than the small cedars I'm taking out. So, you know, there's a patch of cedars here. They're beautiful, stay there. Eventually they'll get big and tall and they will nestle this little cabin into itself. That's my hope. I'll leave most of this pine, this fallen pine, but depending on how I put a trail to come in, we'll take some of it. Does that sound like an eagle to you guys? All right, we've got as much as I can get at the moment. Those 2 other big buckets. All right. I don't know if it's something I brought or if it's something I disturbed, but they're just crawling with ants. And I don't want ants in my pants. So I've got quite a bit anyway for a first run, and we'll go from there. Almost stepped in deer poop. Gotta watch yourself. Watch yourself with those little nuggies. You can probably hear the pool pump running. That's because I'm up at the trail's edge, and like, I'm literally 50 feet maybe from there to the fire pit. And just there, I don't know if you can see that stick. I thought it was like a punky old looking weird stick, and I kept stepping over it. No, that looks like bear poop. It's all just grass and veg in it, so lots to eat this time of year anyway. As long as it isn't me, I think it's a win-win. Probably keep that one quiet for Miss Lady, eh?
No, I don't want to tell the world how gross this is. And that your simple woods life, I hate it. I hate living in the country.
I was taking a look around there and everything's looking pretty decent. Probably too early to see if they've caught, but I think they're going to be healthy. Like, we've had so much rain, it couldn't be bad for them. today I was under the impression again, it's foolish, but you know, if I just go and give it for like 8 hours, how much could I get done? But going out to the out to where the snug is going to be built, meandering around back there, getting everything out, bringing it all back up to the tractor, getting over here, we're 2 hours down. So I have managed to clear out where I was going to put the snug, where I am going to put the snug. I've cleared it out. But I don't know if I'm going to get done this whole meadow, because the other thing too is this is getting higher. And it's been a minute since I started this project because of all the rain. And there's other projects I need to get onto. So I'll plant these, and then I don't know, we might have to put a pin in it until the fall. We'll have to see. How's it going, everybody? 22 trees today, 25 last time, 47 trees plus the 2 lilacs that I planted in there. Gonna visit the roundhouse, which you wouldn't understand if you're not from Canada, but this is steam whistle. It's a premium Pilsner, and they brew it in an old roundhouse in Toronto. That's how you say Toronto. If you're from Canada, you say Toronto. Did you know that? If you were to go to Toronto and say, oh, Toronto was beautiful, everybody would know you're not a local. So all that's left to do, water them. We've got, I don't have a long enough hose to get to the meadow. We've got a hose on either side of the lodge. One just pulls directly from the well, and the other one's treated water. And I don't want to water them with treated water, so I have to do, you know, some watering can, fill up, walk. Watering can, fill up, walk. I don't want to risk hurting anybody too much more than I have, because I can see the shock on some of the trees already. I think I just heard thunder, which would be great. I wouldn't mind some rain. I'll keep an eye out. I've put some decent enough trees throughout that if I've got to wait till the fall when things do go dormant again, I won't worry about trampling down whatever meadow we have now. But because there's some pricklies in here, and I got prickled a couple of times, and it doesn't feel good. I mean, maybe you're into that, and I'm no judgment. If that's your thing, you do you, by all means. My grandfather fought in WW2, the big one, so we could do stuff like that. You want to get prickled? You get prickled. He was on a Navy boat, sailor man. So you can get prickled if you want. It's up to you. Free country and stuff. Anywho, this is Jay from Simple Woods Life saying, I gotta go shower. And if I don't find any ticks upon my bidet, I will be one happy camper. Because crawling around in this and crawling around out in the woods, nah, it's not a smart move if you're trying to avoid ticks. And I likes me some steaks, so I don't want to, you know, lose my love of meat.